Hi, I'm Bob Balch with the That's Jesus channel. Thanks for tuning in. And we are in my Why I Left the Church of Christ series. This is episode 20, and episode 20 is going to have three parts to it. So today, I am not going to be talking about a lot of doctrine, anything like that. Today, I'm going to take you behind the scenes. This is part one of a mini series that is taking you behind the scenes of the Why I Left the Church of Christ series. Think of it as a kind of a sneak peek into what happens on the other side of the camera. So, part one is about the comment section. Part two is going to be about the process, and part three is going to be about the Christ factor, what Jesus has to do with all of this. And here's why I'm doing this right now. I recently had to post something in the community tab of my YouTube page, my YouTube group. And basically, I said, hey, friends, just a reminder. I've got it right here. I'm going to read it. Hey, friends, just a reminder. This is not a public forum. I do allow 99% of comments through, and I take no exception to those who disagree with me. However, comments with links are typically denied. Comments that signal instability are denied, like if you're talking about aliens or if you think you're God. I'm not going to have those comments come out. Comments that are clearly cut and pasted from another source are not allowed. Comments that are AI generated are not allowed. Comments that threaten violence against me or others. That's why I had to put that out there. Will be turned into YouTube law enforcement and will not be allowed to appear. And that also includes stalking, which has happened. So I did not want to write that post, but I had to. I had to write that. And after I wrote it, I thought maybe it's time to slow down a little bit and show everybody what the comment section actually looks like. Not the worst of it, all of it. So these videos 7 through right now have open comments and open discussions. So I'm not going to use those because some comments don't come until the video's been out for several months, and then you get some good comments there. So I'm just going to go off of the first 5 episodes. The comments on those are closed. Nearly 2,000 comments from more than 650 people. So when I published episode 6, though, I turned all the comments off. A handful had crossed the line into threatening. It was just the tone of them. It was a tone of comments that I had recognized before because I used to use that tone, kind of a dismissive, holier than thou, just not unkind, right? Because I was the commenter before I was the creator, right? I was the enforcer before I was the target. So I went back and I took all of those comments. I fed them into an artificial intelligence. Now I didn't use Chat GPT. It's really not good for that. I used 2 or 3 other AIs that will categorize all these things, and you got to have an AI that has enough tokens to take a big document like that. And then I fed those results into a different AI that verifies what the first AI said was correct, and then you can put it into a third AI that verifies what both of them say is correct. It's really about the only way you should use AI if you're using them against each other. They don't trust each other. So anyway, I got all of these comments categorized, and I didn't do it to build a case, but I did it to see the full picture of what went on before. So as always, not every Church of Christ is the same. I don't know if I said that yet or not. And that what I say here just kind of reflects my experience in my research. So here's the full picture is that this is the biggest group from those 1,000, almost 2,000 comments. The biggest group by far was doctrinal discussion. More than 700 comments, real people having a real discussion about real theology. Most of the people who disagreed with me were not cruel, right? Just disagreements, and that's okay. But the patterns that I want to focus on today reveal something about the system itself, not the reasonable disagreements, but the reflexes that people have. 376 comments were back and forth threads between people and those two people were having two completely different conversations in the same thread, just addressed to each other. Each one was certain that the other person was just not getting it, right? And that's what a debate culture kind of gives us. It does not teach you to listen to people, it teaches you to reload, right? So there was that group of people. Then 313 comments told me that I was lost, damned, blind, or working for Satan. Thank you very much for those. Reminded me, in 1889, Daniel Sommer delivered the Sand Creek Address that began the division between the churches of Christ and the Christian churches. Sommer spent his last years trying to undo what he had done, and his own son, Austin, started a rival paper to hold the hard line and eventually disfellowshipped his own dad. Someone wrote, quote, "You are lost and need to go back." Another person wrote, "I just wanted the people to see that you should be marked and avoided." Marked and avoided. So that phrase did not come from the internet. It came from Romans 16:17, as filtered through 150 years of brotherhood journalism. That commenter did not invent that language. He inherited that language. The platform changed, but the voice did not change. The platform used to be all these periodicals. Now the platform is comments and Facebook. So we had 182 comments that attacked my motives, not the evidence. It attacked me. 115 pushed back on substance. Thank you very much. I appreciate those. That's fair. I respect all of those people who pushed back on the substance itself. But the 182 that did not engage the argument, they just attacked me. Someone wrote, "You left the Church of Christ because you figured out you can make lots of money rubbishing them on YouTube." I do not make lots of money on YouTube. Telling you right now. So let me tell you what the costs are for this. I don't know if I'll get into this in the next video. Maybe I will, but here's the cost of what it takes to have a YouTube channel. So I also have a podcast, and that's about $20 a month to hold that up. I also have a website that costs money to have that up. I also subscribe to about 5 different artificial intelligences so that I can put my outline, what I want to say together, feed it into an artificial intelligence, have that make a script for me, feed that into another artificial intelligence, and make sure the script is accurate as to what I originally said. Take all of my references and feed that into another artificial intelligence to make sure all of those are accurate. Feed that into a different one to make sure the first one was actually telling the truth. Don't trust any artificial intelligence at all. You use them to compete against each other. So, but each of those is about $20 a month, right? So we're at about $80 to $100 a month in just artificial intelligence stuff. And basically, I use the artificial intelligence stuff to come up with my coach podcast because I don't know all of that about church history. I have to study it on the go. And then there's the amount of money that costs for Adobe for the video editing. There's the amount of money that it costs for Canva to design my thumbnails. There's the amount of money that it costs for Microsoft Office so I can have all my Word documents. There's the amount of money that it costs to have my external storage. I'm spending well into about $250 a month to have my YouTube channel and my podcast. I get about between 75 cents and $1 a day to have this YouTube channel. That's how much money I make. So am I out to make money? I'm not even breaking even, right? So that's crazy. So I thought that was a very interesting comment. Here's one thing that if you grew up in the churches of Christ, you recognize this move, right? You can't refute the argument. So what you do is you discredit the person making the argument. And I know that's the pattern because I did that for a long time. When someone raised a question that I couldn't answer, just question their faith, right? Just question the other things that they believe. If they make an argument, and I can't answer that one argument, I'll pick another thing that they said in passing and harp on that instead of what their argument was. That's pretty typical. All right, so 84 comments said some version of, "That's not the Church of Christ I knew." So many of those people were very kind, and I believe them that it wasn't the Church of Christ that they knew. But if churches of Christ are a simple restoration following one pattern and arriving at one set of conclusion, then why does a member in North Georgia not recognize a member from Texas, right? Why are they that different? It's always been interesting to me. So a movement that produces that many variances in interpretation. So here we go. 272 comments describe genuine pain. This hurt me. Someone wrote, "I'm a member of the Church of Christ for a few years now, and I'm just miserable. Most of the time, I feel like God just hates me. I'm really struggling not just to check out. I've never felt so alone before." And so, deleted that comment and contacted them, right? Man, a person sitting in pew, doing what they're told, feeling like God hates them. That's not a failure of an individual. That's fruit of a system. So not every Church of Christ is the same. Not all Church of Christ would have that, but it's very sad. Someone wrote, "I was a member of Church of Christ in North Georgia from 1967 to 2021. All that time, I suffered from anxiety, depression, and panic attacks to the point of planning out my suicide. After 2 years of therapy, my psychiatrist said, 'I know where your problem stems from, your religion.'" And then he goes on, "My own father has not spoken to me in almost 2 years." His father stopped talking to him. Just like Austin Sommer disfellowshipped his own father, Daniel Sommer, a century apart, same pattern. These voices are the reason why this series exists. So when I read those hostile comments, I don't feel anger for anybody. I feel recognition for them. I get a little bit frustrated really with myself because I used to be just like that. So if someone had made this series in 2010, I would have been in the comment section telling them that they were lost maybe. Um, and I would have done it saying, I'm just doing it because I love you. But maybe not 2010, probably 2000, uh, maybe 2004 or 5. So if you're sitting in a Church of Christ right now and your congregation loves you well, I am so glad about that. I'm not telling you to leave. I've never told anyone to leave. But if you are one of the 272 people, if you're sitting in a pew feeling like God hates you, I want you to hear me. You are not lost because you asked a question. You're not. Um, you are not a traitor because you disagree with people. Jesus said in John chapter 13, verse 35, "By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, that you love one another." So if you disagree and they love you in spite of your disagreeing, that's good. That's good. They need to continue loving you. The mark is not being right. The mark is love. So that's just wanted to go through some of those comments and let you know my thoughts on those. Um, Also wanted to let you know about the comments on my recent videos. If you are commenting on several videos, say you disagree with me and you're like, every video has something wrong with it, you want to do all that. I tried to do this in the first 5 videos, just have numerous conversations across numerous videos with the same person. Can't do that. Just I don't have time to do that. So make sure that your first couple of comments are pretty good in their substance because I'm going to pick one of those and say, this is our conversation. I'm mandating that this comment on this video in this thread, that's our conversation. And all of your other comments, I'm going to say, hey, thank you for commenting, but our conversation is back over here. And so if you really want to have a conversation with me, you'll go back to that other video. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We're going to have 2 more videos in this series. Then we're going to get on to some book reviews, and that's going to be fantastic. If this episode kind of spoke to you, like and subscribe, share it with someone who really needs to hear it. I'm Bob Balch with the That's Jesus channel. Have a great day and be blessed.